Oh, yeah, that's good. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty loud. Is it too loud? Oh, no one's in there. What you need the door? Is someone in there? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so bow in, get started. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Salute. Okay, feet shoulder width, hands up, turning. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands in your waist. Circular movements. Reverse. And center, cross, knees, circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, hands on your waist, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center, tilt to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center, rotating, 1, 2, 3, reverse, 1, 2, 3, center, hands up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Spread your feet, turn your shoulders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, we stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Okay, center. Squat down and work each side. Okay, we shake it out. Okay, hands up. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, shoulder roll. And reverse. And the center. Press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, side to side. Okay, center. Okay, press down, insert needle. Okay, we'll switch the other side. And center. Okay, shake it out. Okay, get a right leg swing. Okay, okay, we switch. Okay, center. Side to side. Switch. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so grilling. Okay, switch. Okay, center. Open and close. Switch. Okay, center, parallel stance, shoulder width, preparation. Okay, lower hoop. Okay, shoulder height. Elbows down. Lower, palms down. Extend, expand. Extend. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Okay, switch. Okay, center. Cloud hands. Okay, so let's move with the legs. Let's go back the other direction. Okay, going back. Going back. Okay, back to center. Down. Okay, carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, let's go to Carry tiger to the mountain with leg work. Okay, infinity sign. Okay. Form the fist. Okay, strum the lute. Turn. Turn. Back to center. Draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay, palms down. Okay, back to center. Deep breathing. Okay, good. Deep breathing. So other than part, the horse, the mane, those are the components uh, of the Tai Chi paradigm form and the long form, but there's, probably 14, 15 postures there that really, we work a dose of that, then you start to improve your execution. But what we did there was a lot of leg work and hand work combined. So upper lower coordination is started developing as integration. So how we move our feet, how important it is to get the movement to be driven from the legs starts to be something you're more aware of after learning the sequence. But sequential learning is just memory. Coordination and motor skill is built over time from body intelligence. Your body starts to assimilate and start to recognize what these different postures are, and that makes up the form. So when we practice the form, it's just a vehicle to improve your movement, your timing. So the phases of the motion, where the forward movement and the backward movement start to come together, right? So the hand movement and the leg movements can't connect unless they tie to your body. So your torso is critical in those movements because the torso has to be taught, and has to be taught when to turn, how to turn, when the legs get weight and don't get weight. It's a shifting. So it's unweighting and non-weighting. There's passive and active motions going on. When one hand is dominant, the other hand kind of follows, and the movements all become part of a transition because your body, your torso, your legs are driving the movements. Eventually, the hand movements are not as relevant. It's not the dominant side. So that's why once you get to a certain stage, the movements should come from the bottom up, not from the outside in, you see. So a lot of times when you're first learning, everything is out here because that's what we see. You don't see anything in here or down here. But then as you progress and, those get, comfortable in the system. And what is getting comfortable in the system? Getting rid of excessive erroneous motion or tension. Because when you're first learning, your body doesn't know how much, and which muscles to use. It's just sort of copying what you think someone else is doing, or your teacher, and then it just leads into, sort of movements that's assimilating in some way. Then as your intelligence or your understanding improves, then even assimilating becomes more of a connection to the real movement. So let's go through the sequence now. Ready? Preparation. Insert the needle, fan through the back. Raise the hand, bend from the waist, stork flaps wings. Toe heel pivot, left side grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, left side single whip. Hold the ball, reverse the ball, diagonal flying. Sit back, stroke down, part the horse's mane. Step up, stroke down, part the horse's mane. Cross corner, Jade Lady work shuttle. Cross corner. Hook your wrist and turn to the front. Single whip. Single whip. Hold the ball again. Reverse it again. Diagonal flying right. Okay, deep breathing. The carry tiger to the mountain footwork is really going from a leaning position, sitting back, pivoting till your foot is facing the corner or directly 90 to the front. And then when you shift and you unwind the hips, then the foot will go to that corner. Then you're going to turn back and find your shoulder width stance again. See? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So all the drills that we did with the footwork, and what that is essentially what we call the 5 directions: forward, backward, right, left, center. Tai Chi's, concept of foot direction is that forward, backward, right, left, center. So actually, forward, backward, right, left, center covers our space and the volume of motion. So if you go forward and backward, there's 2 directions. So there's 6, different motions. Because the X, Y, Z axis, you have forward, backward, right, left, up and down. Up and down. The point that they all meet is your central equilibrium, your balance point. That changes with center of mass. But when we're here, differentiating between the solid and empty, when you find square position or you find the 45 position, is what you're actually muscle memorying. It's skeletal memory and control of the forward, backward, right, left directions. So we look at directions out here, but you have to look to yourself internally and directionally which way your body is moving. So you're moving forward and you move back and you turn and you shift because this is where I'm going, and then I turn back. What you're controlling is center of mass, shifting of weight, and the legs controlling not just the direction like this, but also the direction of your hip, right? My hip is here. When it turns, your two hips have to work together. That's the relationship between the right and left sides. When we move to here, something happens here. So the two sides work together. When my hands are here and I turn, they're tracking because I'm moving my body. I create the lower hoop, I create the upper hoop, and I sit back. So this and this have a relationship. This and this has a relationship with the sinking of the knees and the crossing of the arms, you see. So that's the different phases in the motion, because those phases have to become part of timing. And unless you break it down into those components, then the body really doesn't know where it's going until you control the direction and the weight. And that relationship is sort of harmony and movement, sequential harmony. It's not just simultaneously going from here to here. It's an order which becomes a kinetic chain of motions that actually take us in a direction and timed specifically in each phase of those movements. So that's what we have to track, and how much information is that your system has to interpret and learn when you go through this. So it's a long journey to get things to happen, because this wiring that we have up here doesn't change right away. It takes time, and it takes this patience, and that the body has to have the information to feed back. You can tell something to some part of your body to do something, but it really doesn't know what it's doing until it develops something that happens over time, is that you start to feel the movement, and the correctness of those movements come into the geometry of position, the size of the movement, the reference points of the body, the synchronization of the right, left in the bottom and the right, left in the top, and how you have the cross-referencing or on the same side. See, all of that stuff is information that is housed here, and then it kind of deciphers it from the knowing. Eventually we'll know. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, we'll go through the long form now, and just follow along. We'll go through. Right. Ready? Preparation. Set up, first instep kick. Pop the horse's mane. Set up, high pat the horse, step up, grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, deep breathing. So, high pat the horse. This, I call this a setup. So when we flip the hands over to initiate a motion. So when the hand is here, if you went on top, that would be that. If you flip the hands over, that would be. So whichever hand's on top stays on top until you flip it over. So it's just a cross hand position with one palm out, one palm in. So it could be horizontal. Sometimes it goes up in a slant. So that really depends on, where your elbows are and how they're being directed. But this is your setup. So high pat the horse starts off like that with the first set of kicks. And you fold to a cross hand position. And you do an instep kick, and then you go back to the setup, bring it down on top, open it up like this, flip it over, fold the elbows, and you have a kick, toe kick, and then this hand just stays after you turn, and it goes on top, see, and folds. So when you fold, you see the hands actually facing side to side. But sometimes maybe you wouldn't be able to pick up on that. So the edge of the hand is facing forward. And on this side is facing forward. So when we do this opening and close movement, your hands are like this, and then they open like this. Cross like this, they open like that. So, which side is outside, which side is on top, which side is on the bottom. You don't have to overthink it, but once you know that this side is happening and that side is happening, then when you double check it to see if it appears to be correct, and you'll know that the hand that's on the outside is the side you kick with. So that you will see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is on the outside. Then when this hand comes down on top and you flip it over, this hand is on the outside. Then when you put this hand on top, you're just doing the same movement from here to here with the left heel kick. Because we did a left toe kick, this is a left heel kick. So that's maybe confusing sometimes when you're first learning the sequence and you try to memorize all these little, turns. But eventually it just starts to make sense, but it's a pattern. That pattern becomes something that is specific to that kick, but then it's kind of wired in because you know that that's what's going on there. And then if we're here after one of the cloud hands and we go to downward posture, that's a cover hand, and snake sticks out tongue is this. Okay, then when you invert the hands and then flip them over and then draw towards your body, that's the pull down. So we're here 1, 2, 3, 4, draw back, and then you would come through center to either go to golden cockrow or go through center after to to cross hands. So in the cross hand position, put your right hand out in front and put the left hand on the inside. Okay. So then when you're in this position, it's a cross hand position, but relax the shoulders. Don't have them like this because, tension is just a restrict. It doesn't allow the posture to be. So when you're here, right, so you go in this position, so you would want to seat your wrists. Seating your wrist means to relax the wrist. And then when you seat the wrists, let your shoulders relax, and then you'll feel strength in the elbow, right? So, when you just go through motions, everything looks the same, but the intent of motion and the feeling of movement start to define the strength and the energy and the motion. So if your body's just tense, you can't distinguish the difference between a posture, the energy and the motion, the direction of motion, and how it feels like for that to be sort of functional. If you take a piece of cloth or a rag and you're going to wipe a table, you feel an intent and a pressure in the palm of your hand. That's a feeling. If you put it down and you don't feel anything, then you don't have any energy and emotion, so nothing happens. As you apply pressure, so you can apply pressure by using a physical force, or you can apply pressure by moving into a position that has a mechanical advantage. Like if you really had to rub and you don't have enough strength in the arm, you might use two hands, and then they start to work together. So when they work together, actually one hand is pressing the other. That's pressing. When we say ward off, pull back, press is support. Cross hands is a press. It's supporting this side. So one side would be pressing against the other side. So an isometric movement would be one muscle against another muscle, and it's a stalemate. So both sides would be putting energy into it. That's what an isometric motion is. So this isn't isometric. What it is it's creating a connection. So you're not really pushing back on two sides. That would become double weighted. See, so the concepts, it's theoretical, but at the same time, you can implement certain ideas. So how we use our strength is really what ultimately you're doing. But then good movement and movement that's integrated becomes sequential, which is important for the brain. And then, how we move our body influence our circulation. So the main reason why we need to move our body is for circulation. There's no other reason to move, functionality and circulation. So the only reason why we need to have circulation is to bring oxygen to our cells and nutrients to the cells, and that those nutrients allow you to produce the chemical energies that's required to do motions and muscle contractions, and for your brain to work and your heart to continue to beat. That's what nutrients do, but it needs oxygen. So on that cellular level, it really is tied into, how we move. And the better we move, the more efficient we move, the less waste of energy. So, a lot of times when, especially older people, they say, "Oh, I don't feel like I have any energy." It's real. You don't have any energy because, if you're stressed or you're tight or you're very stiff, you're burning a lot of energy, wasting a lot of energy just being stiff. So you can overwork a muscle just squeezing your arm. How long can that stay tense? Until it fatigues. So you can imagine every muscle in your body can go through that kind of a experience. So if you're really stressed or you have anxiety and you have all this stuff going on, it's not only here, it's in here. So one way of relieving stress is movement. And movement helps to relieve that. And breathing, controlling your breath. So in deep breathing, is the most essential part of the practice, because you have to, let the body expand and contract and release. So when you expand, then your musculature will release and open, and then when you let go, it's releasing. So there's only two things that happen. You contract and you relax. That's how muscles work. In fact, everything in life is practically like that. Positive and negative, yin and yang, on and off. That's a binary system. The whole system works off of that concept. So anything that you do, it folds and unfolds. Eye closes, it opens. Everything is like that. Right? You inhale, you exhale. You eat something, you eliminate it after it's digested. You breathe in, you exhale. You bring in oxygen, you exhale carbon dioxide. So, it's just a system that works in balance. So our fluids in the body have to work in balance as well. It's okay. Ready? Bow. Yeah.